that's the wonders of Little Farmer's Key, the Exumas. Until next time, I'm Beverly Curry.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news tonight, we have reaction to the speech from the throne from the business community. Also, Abaco having its share of challenges with virtual education. And a new digital pay system launched on Grand Bahama. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, the new Davis administration during the speech from the throne yesterday, outlining a broad legislative agenda, pledging to stabilize finances and rescue the country's economy. Grand Bahama continues to struggle with an ailing economy, but some hope that the pledges will help to restore Grand Bahama's economy. Tonight, we talk with the president of the Chamber of Commerce, who shares the views of the business community. President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Greg LaRota, says he believes the Davis administration has good intentions and what was presented was absolutely necessary. And as it relates to Grand Bahama, he says mention was made of several current issues that he believes continue to have an impact on the economy.
Namely, the airport, the hospital, some sort of relief for the business community in general, micro, small businesses on Grand Bahama to continue moving forward. So that was good to see. And then overall, the plan for how we can recover, especially the tourism product from where we are now to where we were pre-Dorian, pre-COVID. So it was good to see that.
However, he says the challenge is that for some time now, the business community has been receiving similar news. Therefore, many are taking the wait-and-see approach.
While it's good to hear, let's see what happens and when. Because remember in the speech, even though they spoke to all of the, or most of the concerns, that speech didn't contain timelines. So while we know that the airport is going to be addressed, we're not sure exactly when, whether it be year 1, year 2, year 3. Same with the hospital.
LaRota notes that Grand Bahama's economic recovery is dependent on major projects like the hospital and the airport, and he believes these projects should receive some level of priority.
The reality of it is, financially, the government isn't in as good a position as they would like to be, saying that our number one industry is just trying to bounce back now. And so when you talk about a number of projects that you want to do, even though we speak to public-private initiatives, still the government have to come up with some money to fund these. And so to the extent the money can be raised, then I think we can see some of those projects come into realization.
He adds that the government should focus on attracting new business to the country, especially Grand Bahama Island.
Because we need that injection of, especially foreign business, need that injection of money into the economy. We need more people getting back to work so that they can move from welfare to actually being a part of the revenue base for the government. You know, the government needs, there's no question the government needs more revenue. But I think we need to seek to do that by increasing the tax base and not the tax burden.
LaRota notes that the chamber is willing to work with the government by lending any assistance necessary as it relates to strengthening the business community on the island. More than 1,200 guests were invited to witness the official opening of the new session of Parliament in the capital yesterday, including a contingent from Grants Bahama. Harold Williams and Rashad Adderley among the Grants Bahamians traveling for the special occasion. They say they are satisfied that Grants Bahama was given some much-needed attention in the speech from the throne.
We need to hear about rebuilding our infrastructure. Starting with the Grand Bahama International Airport. We need to have facilities like this in order to increase airlift, and that'll help the economy. You talk about a fixed term for elections, and that's going to give people a little bit more confidence in how government is run.
It actually shows that Grand Bahama is the topic of discussion. If we can utilize everything that's just said, Grand Bahama will have a good projection. They talk about the marijuana, which I am a president of the Northern Bahamas. Hearing that was more touching than from the previous government, because now I feel like it's actually going to pass. When you look at putting the new airport here and the hospital, they are the two main reasons why we don't have tourists. If we get a nice airport and we have a good hospital, our medical situation is good, tourists will come here. Because, to look at your country as a third world country, not having a hospital, that is like a damper. But for the most part, it's a new day, and I hope this government follows everything that they say.
In other news, the Director of Education noting recently that 30% of students are not showing up for online learning, and this has been attributed to various reasons and circumstances. Tonight, the District Superintendent of Education for the island of Abaco is expressing concern regarding the virtual learning environment and is hoping to see face-to-face learning or a hybrid model implemented sooner rather than later. Megan Shepard fills us in.
District Superintendent of Education for Abaco, Dominique Russell, noting that the island is still engaging in virtual learning. However, they face major connectivity issues despite upgrades from a leading telecommunications company.
But they have not reached to all of the schools. For example, Central Abaco Primary, Patrick J. Bethel, Morris Island, All Age, Man of War, and I think one other school have not been completed. And so teachers and administrators and parents have been complaining about the connectivity. The internet is in and out. We have been conducting teacher assessments, and even in that, teachers were bumped off, and students and teachers had to, go back on and off. And so we're really struggling as it relates to the connectivity in Abaco and with both carriers, BTC and Alive.
Another issue that hinders the virtual learning process is constant power outages on the island.
Sometimes parents will email to teachers and say, we can't get online, and we cannot fault the children if they cannot get online because of the power outages. And so we are really waiting for an opportunity to begin, at least in the hybrid mode. The students want it, their parents want it, the teachers want it, and the administrators want it.
Russell adds that some parents are also facing challenges as it relates to keeping data packages on the tablets and devices used.
Last year, we were able to, Rotary helped us along with Alive to provide, the data plans for our children who were struggling. And so that's another concern. Parents do not have the funds to continue with the data plans for their children. And so our teachers have had to provide the hard copies, and some parents refuse to pick them up. Some of them are actually waiting to go face to face. We even have parents in the preschool who said, I'm not putting my child in the virtual environment. It's too stressful. We will wait until you go face to face. And we have been, trying to use moral suasion to get them to participate.
The Director of Education has noted that some 30% of students are not showing up for online learning nationwide. Russell says students not logging on is currently a concern on that northern island.
Last year, actually, it was 25%. This year, it's around 20% of our children not accessing. That's about 400 children. And even though 20% may not seem like a large number, 400 children, that's just too much. Too much not accessing the virtual platform. And so that's one of the reasons why we would love to be able to offer some form of hybrid mode, and not just for the academic aspect of it, for the socialization of our children too. Parents have been complaining that children's psychosocial needs are great because of this environment. I've had even teachers who have complained about having headaches being online all day. And so what we would have said to them from a ministry's perspective is to have asynchronous and synchronous instruction. And so that means that sometimes your classes are live, but you have to make sure that there are opportunities for children to experience alternate opportunities, and that means away from the screen.
Currently, there are 2,477 students enrolled in the Abaco district. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
The community-based conch management project in East Grants, Bahama, to wrap up its second public meeting in the Eastern District tonight. The project is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank and led by the Bahamas National Trust with the goal of enhancing the livelihood of fishers in East Grants, Bahama. The first meeting was held in Sweetings Key yesterday. Science officer within the Bahamas National Trust and project manager Jewel Thompson-Benaby says they are getting a good response from residents.
Is it just going to be more regulation on conch? That was one of the biggest concerns. Is there just going to be more regulation? But what we're trying to do is come from a place of empowerment, because if a fisher fishes a conch and they get a certain amount of money for it for just the meat, what we're trying to do is form an association with those fishers so that they're able to get more money from each conch through not just the value-added products that can come from conch, or whether there's a conch farm, but also when you work together like that in an association, you're actually able to get a better price for your product.
Now, another meeting is set for tonight at St. Michael's Church in High Rock, and it is hoped that after these meetings, an association can be formed to explore and set up a conch farm in the East.
There are more opportunities for increased revenue and livelihood through conch fishing, and that can be alternatives like conch farming, where we're making sure that there's a successful breeding ground for conch, as well as that can serve as a means of other opportunities such as ecotourism ventures. There's conch pearl farming that can happen. There's so many opportunities that can happen that are just may not be fully considered or being explored at the minute.
In other news, Island Pay launching its digital wallet here on Grants, Bahama. The company, based in New Providence, now has 2 locations in Freeport. Principals of Island Pay were the recent guest on the ZNS show Direct Talk with David Wallace. Jay Philippe fills us in.
We live in an age where digitization and mobile innovation are the main engines in the banking industry. Businessman Jeff Beckles serves as managing director of Island Pay Group, says digital wallets, which are electronically stored credit cards and debit cards on mobile devices, are now the way of the future. Now, Beckles and his partners at Island Pay Group has been leading the charge on the impact of digitalization in the Bahamas. Here on Grand Bahama, they have launched 2 full-service devices, one at Save More Pharmacy and the other at Petro Express.
They can access cash at our kiosks. They can deposit cash onto their digital wallets at the kiosks. They can access prepaid MasterCards at the kiosks. I know a lot of people are now not wanting to carry cash around anymore. They can go to the kiosk, upload their cash, get their card, and they can use that card anywhere of the 34 million places around the world that MasterCard is accepted.
Beckles adds that digital wallets has revolutionized how business is done in the Bahamas.
The Bahamas government is digitizing all of its platforms in a very rapid way. What we have seen in the COVID environment is exacerbated that acceleration. But why Island Pay? Island Pay represents more than 24,000 active wallets in the Bahamas. Island Pay is the only digital wallet that has actual cash in it, compared to our competitors, where they trade tokens another way. You have to go and redeem your money somewhere else. You can actually go to the kiosk, and if you want it. The other thing is our wallets come standard with a $100 account in it.
Lead technician at Island Pay Groups, Casper Williams, explains how digital wallets work.
Unlike the traditional banking system where you have to have a debit card or run to a bank, your cell phone becomes now your debit card. Once you were to sign up for the wallet, get your account approved, you would simply walk up to one of our kiosks, and within no more than 5 minutes, with your cell phone through the app, you'll be able to take funds off.
Beckles also added that the company has plans on increasing its presence on Grand Bahama. In fact, he shares that they are working towards bringing new devices to Grand Bahama.
End of October, 8 Mile Rock will be in 8 Mile Rock, and we will be in West End, and we're looking forward to those installations.
I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
2 males are in police custody on the charges of possession of dangerous drugs. A team from the Drug Enforcement Unit making the arrest at a residence at Ladyfish Court in Caravelle Beach. Police reports say officers conducted a search of the house and discovered 3 crocus sacks containing 103 pounds of suspected marijuana. The estimated street value of the drugs said to be just over $100,000. Meantime, 4 additional COVID-19 deaths topping the latest COVID-19 dashboard. All are females and all are from Grand Bahama. The deaths occurred between September 22nd and October 3rd. They range from 42 to 88 years of age. The total death toll is 586, with 62 deaths under investigation. There are 60 newly confirmed cases. 48 are in New Providence, 3 from Grand Bahama, 6 in Eleuthera, 1 each in Exuma, Andros, and in Mayaguana. Hospitalizations are at 162. 26 hospitalized cases in Grand Bahama, including 1 in ICU. The total number of cases now at 21,518. There are 1,145 active cases. 19,605 have recovered. You're watching the Northern Edition. Stay with us.
Treater large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Transparency, honesty,
and accountability are what you deserve.
You deserve a smarter grid.
With meters that show you where your energy is going.
A modernized grid that share all the data and allow us to proactively address the issues. A resilient grid that notifies us the instant your service is disrupted. You deserve the highest standard of service.
With a smarter grid and modern infrastructure. This is why advanced metering infrastructure
is here.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Alive brings to you the iPhone 12 64 gigs for $249 when you switch to Alive postpaid. Alive, believe in best.
Hi, I'm Wes. I'd like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
It's Park & Shop's National Heroes Day sale, 25% off store-wide, excluding underwear and red tag items, October 7th, 8th, and the 9th.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast, with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Hammers and wrenches and drills, oh my. Do-It Center carries a large variety of housewares, power tools, plumbing and electrical, hardware and paint. Open Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at the Gold Rock Complex. Everything to complete that job this season.
Every year, hurricanes are getting stronger and stronger. Don't you want to ensure that your home is secure with the strongest windows, doors, and roof? If so, come on down to World Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find in the U.S. and the Bahamas. Visit our showroom Monday to Friday from the hours of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. to see the quality and selection of our products to protect and beautify your home or business. Contact us today for a free estimate at 727-7990 or 351-3333. You can also visit our website at www.worldwholesalebahamas.com and email us at www.bahamas242@gmail.com.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Hearing impaired students throughout Grand Bahama will now be able to use brand new tablets and computers in school, courtesy of the Beacon for Change, a charitable organization based in Miami, Florida. On hand to present the devices was Rayvano Ferguson, the liaison for Beacon of Change here on Grand Bahama. The exchange took place at Maurice Moore Primary School, where the Office for Lead Teacher for the Deaf, Nicola Knowles, and President of the Grand Bahama Association for the Deaf, Jonathan Cooper, is located. Now, Ferguson says this initiative was prompted by Cheryl Wood, former principal at the Beacon School, who saw the need to help students to access the tools needed to navigate the virtual learning platform.
She brought up the fact that the Grand Bahama Deaf Association and the unit, the deaf unit over here, needed some tablets and laptops. So once we got the proposal letter, we jumped on it, and we, as you can tell, we brought the 7 laptops for the kids that need tablets that needed tablets as well. So the laptops are on their way, but we were able to get secure the tablets first. So in probably a week or so, the laptops will be in.
Nicola Knowles says the 7 tablets and 3 laptops donated from Beacon for Change will come in handy for the students who are in need of workable devices in order to effectively complete lesson assignments.
For the deaf especially, how do I say this? Every 1 year of school that we miss is 2 to 3 years of actual schooling. And between Dorian and the pandemic, we have been set back about 2 years of learning. Now, in order to carry on the learning, we have to have proper computers, proper laptops, not just, we appreciate their mom's phones, but we need something where we can go on Zoom, we can go on live worksheets, we can get our work done. For us especially, our children have a different type of vocabulary. So where a regular teacher could just send a worksheet, a kid read it, answer the questions and get it right, it doesn't work like that for us. I need to see what they're doing. I need to interpret the question. I need to explain what my children need to know.
Jay Philippe is up next with your Thursday evening sports check.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. We'll start this one in the WNBA with MVP Jonquel Jones and her Connecticut Sun hoping to steal one game on the road in hopes of tying the series. Grand Bahamian Jonquel Jones and her top-seeded Connecticut Sun, the league's best team this summer, fell 79-69 to the number 6 seed Chicago Sky in Game 4 of the WNBA playoff semifinals Wednesday night in Chicago. The Sky, who won the series 3-1 to advance to the finals for the first time since 2014, will face either the Las Vegas Ace or Phoenix Mercury, who are scheduled to play Game 5 of their semifinal series on Friday. While the Sun ended their memorable regular season on a league's best 14-game win streak and with the franchise best win percentage, Connecticut simply could not match up against the Sky's teams playing its best basketball when it mattered most. Jones's 25 points and 11 rebounds on 10 of 8 shooting from the field was just not enough as the Sun trailed the entire game. The Sun will look to possibly make some changes this offseason to make another run at the title. Switching gears now in football, Michael Strawn and his Indianapolis Colts got their first win of the season against the Miami Dolphins 27-17 in Week 4. Now, before the game, Director of Sports for the ministry, Tim Munnings, traveled to Miami to support the 6'5" rookie wide receiver.
Being here to support Michael Strawn is very important for us. We want the athletes to know that the government, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, really supports and encourages them to continue to push on. They are heroes to the young men and women that are home, and we want to show that we know what they're doing. We're aware of what they're doing. We may not see them every day in person, but we're certainly paying attention to what they're doing. And any way that we can help them, we're there.
Now in basketball overseas, Travis Munnings made his debut with his new club in Portugal. Munnings and his Sporting Lesbosa Benfica got off to a 2-0 start in the FIBA Europe Cup qualifiers. After playing sparingly in an 83-77 win over Voluntari, Munnings had 7 points and 4 rebounds off the bench in just 17 minutes of an 81-73 win over Grognega. That's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Are you ready to step out with designer shoes or handbags? Visit Steppin' Out. They've relocated at number 4 Old Sam's Plaza. Stepping out when you want to put your best foot forward.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Mother Nature has always been my inspiration. There's magic in every seashell and in the curve of every majestic tree. I design wearable art. Jewelry should tell a story, your story. My clients love being able to choose their charms and bling, creating their own unique design. It's personal, so it's priceless. We all have our individual style. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. So why fit in when you're designed to stand out? I'm Tanisha Carey, your designer. Welcome to Baja Gala.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Seize the opportunity to be featured in Esquire's 2022 calendar. Send a photo of you outfitted in your Esquire attire by October 15th or WhatsApp them at 727-6367.
Hey there, D'Amico Nesbitt here from the Fitness Connection. Welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip or tips to help you on your health and fitness journey. And today we're going to talk about protein. Protein is a supplement that has a lot of confusion and misinformation around. And today we're going to clear up some common questions about protein. Question number one, is protein safe for women and kids? The answer to that is yes. Protein is needed by all humans, all individuals. It's responsible for growth and repair of all cells. So both men, women, and children need some protein. Now, we can get it from food, we can get it from supplements, but you gotta just watch the amount that you take in, because remember, it's still calories, and taking in too much calories is gonna lead to weight gain. Question number two, will protein cause me to gain weight? No, it's a lot of confusion between protein and weight gainer shakes. The difference is proteins are normally leaner. They have less carbohydrates and fats and more of the actual protein, which, you know, athletes need, everybody needs for growth and repair. Now, the question is, how much are you taking? You want to make sure you take about 1 gram per body weight if you're an active individual. And once you stay around that, you're guaranteed not to put on weight. It can also help you to fight cravings by controlling your appetite and helping you to eat less higher calorie foods. Question number three, is it better to take a protein supplement or to eat protein from foods? And the answer is both, depending on what your overall goal is. A protein supplement can be effective if you don't want to get the extra calories from some high protein foods. For example, some steaks and fish are higher in fat content as well. So if you want to cut out that fat and get more of just the lean protein, a protein supplement would be good. And just for comparison, you need about 6 to 8 eggs to get the amount of protein in 1 scoop of a protein powder. So it makes it a lot easier to consume the shake than the food. But we do need both, because remember, the food's going to have other minerals and vitamins that we also need. So long story short, you need both of them. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions about protein, you can DM us at The Fitness Connection. We are on Facebook or Instagram, or stop by any one of our stores. We'd be happy to assist you. And you can pick from our wide variety of protein shakes as well. See you soon.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Armando Russell, you are our Facebook friend today. Thank you for your loyal support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, I'm Jamila Missick with the National Report. Topping the news, the Davis administration seems keen on improving the ease of doing business here in the Bahamas, and to do so, it proposes to restructure the Bahamas Investment Authority to streamline application processes and to develop a new marketing strategy. Here's what else Governor General Sir Cornelius Smith revealed during Wednesday's speech from the throne.
And appropriately amend legislation to provide increased tax incentives and concessions for domestic investors. My government will transform approval processes and launch Bahamas Invest to retain competitiveness and mobilize local and international investors to grow the economy. My government will return tourism to pre-COVID levels by harnessing existing markets.
The nation's leader gave an update on the fate of those Atlantis staffers not yet vaccinated following the implementation of a controversial policy. He also weighed in on several issues that have garnered criticism. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
Staff at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort will still have to foot the bill for their weekly COVID-19 rapid antigen test. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis says government met with Atlantis on the matter, and while they agreed to revisit the issue, they communicated the desire to keep staff working and not enforce a vaccine mandate, as was government's mission. He says government voiced concerns over the financial impact on employees who are not working full-time.
Our concern in respect to that was not every employee is working 7 days. They are being rotated 2-3 days a week, and so when they get whatever that salary is, to deduct the cost of a test from that sum leaves them very little. It eats into what they can do with their income, particularly in light of the challenges they're having, not having a full pay, full work week, and the challenges they would have had having been furloughed for so long.
The Prime Minister also addressed the Free National Movement's criticism of his support of Island Luck co-founder Adrian Fox, who in 2010 was indicted in the U.S. for aiding and abetting the bringing of persons he knew were aliens to the U.S.
The charge that Mr. Fox is facing now is a misdemeanor. He's being charged with mishandling or negligent handling of a vessel, of a boat, and it's a misdemeanor. And as I indicated before, he was my client pre-2012. I was acting for him. I was acting for him in this matter as a lawyer. When we lost in 2017, he engaged me for advice in respect to the matter, and I wrote the letter for him, which I said I'll do again because I've recognized how he has reordered his life for quite a while, his philanthropy, and what he's been doing, the good that he's been doing in our communities, particularly in our distressed communities.
The nation's leader also spoke to the opposition leader's criticism that the proceedings for the opening of Parliament held at Baha-Mar was unconstitutional, saying he expected him to raise it in the House during Parliament's opening if he felt so strongly.
It's typical of the manner in which the leader of the opposition and as Prime Minister, how he conducted himself in the management of our affairs. Obviously, he knew that a proclamation had to be issued. Now, if he knew that, don't you think he ought to check to see whether one was issued before he made the claims that he made? Isn't that the prudent thing to do?
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Free National Movement issuing a statement on the speech from the throne. According to the official opposition, the speech does not provide the necessary plans and policies that will maintain the significant economic recovery started by the Minnis administration that is evidenced by recent central bank reports and the healthy tourism numbers. They also say the speech fails to address the seriousness of our fiscal situation, and it does not address the ongoing necessity for tax reform and reform of the state-owned enterprises that are critical to fiscal consolidation over time. According to the statement, the PLP has again promised to reduce VAT without providing any clear plans on how the reduced revenue will be replaced, saying the PLP has failed to provide a timeline on when this will be done. The opposition says it will support the government's plans to push forward with social and structural initiatives that the FNM commenced or previously proposed. This includes the FNM's program for expunging of records, which has already benefited many young people. The regulatory framework and draft legislation for the marijuana industry left in place regarding tax concessions for small businesses. The FNM says there was no mention on what these were and who would qualify and how they would be any different from the massive amount of concessions left in place by the FNM. According to the release, the opposition will work with the government on these matters and other policy proposals that advance the interests of the Bahamian people, while opposing policies which will harm the economic recovery and the needs of Bahamians. Well, hundreds filed into the Baha-Mar Convention Center to witness yesterday's opening of Parliament. This year's ceremony filled with the usual pomp and pageantry which accompanies such events. But as Desmond Saunders tells us, it also marked an historic moment in both houses of Parliament.
Under strict COVID-19 protocols, some 39 members of Parliament and 16 senators took the oath of allegiance during the opening of Parliament at the Baha-Mar Convention Center, Cable Beach, Tuesday. The group of parliamentarians representing a fresh, diverse, dynamic breed of professionals who will steer and govern the affairs of the country for the next 5 years.
I accept the vice presidency in the spirit of partnership.
Both the upper and lower chambers of Parliament meeting simultaneously at the start of the new legislative session. The new session of Parliament noted attorney Barry Griffin becoming the youngest person on record to become Vice President of the Senate. Griffin pledged his commitment to the new administration, saying the moment is a testament to the government's commitment to ensure that young people have a meaningful seat at the table.
Let us model the character, courage, and civility of former members of this House, such as Dame Doris Johnson, who was at the front lines in the fight for the very existence of this Parliament. Let us honor her memory and all those who came before us, not just in eulogy, but in dialogue and trust.
This morning's event also seeing the emergence of several female leaders from the Progressive Liberal Party, Lachelle Adderley becoming the new Senate President.
In the year 1962, Ruby Ann Dowling became the first woman to register to vote in our country, beckoning the beginning of an end to electoral disenfranchisement of Bahamian women. From that historic day to majority rule, to independence, and finally today, the arc of Bahamian history has strategically been bent towards the empowerment and the enfranchisement of Bahamian women.
Member of Parliament for Bamboo Town, Patricia DeVoe, elected as a new Speaker of the House of Assembly, the first time in our history that two women will serve simultaneously in both chambers of Parliament.
The business of this House will be conducted in an atmosphere of respect. I charge all members to be courteous and respectful to the chair. I charge members to also be courteous and respectful to each other in the conduct of your debates.
Member of Parliament for Angliston and Minister of Education, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, touting the significant progress towards the advancement of women, but she feels a race is not finished just yet.
The call for equal rights, however, made some 62 years ago, remains yet to be realized, as women continue to face discrimination in the form of unequal rights to that of our male counterparts under our Constitution. So the work is not yet done.
Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Member of Parliament for North Eleuthera, also promising to serve with integrity. Following this morning's event, House members met briefly. The House of Assembly has adjourned until October 27th, 2021 at 10 a.m. Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
Well, the opening of Parliament brings out the best in fashion. Kelsey Johnson tells us that the runway at the Bahama Resort was lined with nothing but stylish wear.
From silk to taffeta, stiletto to block heels, Fashion Week in Paris was dull in comparison to the fair's runway parade in Paradise today. The opening of Parliament, an historical practice marking the formal start of the parliamentary year, and the speech from the throne sets out the government's agenda for the upcoming session. But before we move on to the country's business, let's take a look at the stylish wear. First Lady Anne-Marie Davis, wife of Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis QC, led the way wearing this beautiful ensemble. Here's her stealing the show.
The look of classiness, that's what I think about. What I have on an occasion like this, I thought it would be better for that. So I decided to deviate from my usual big hat and wear a smaller hat, fully studded and fully decorated, and just make a different ensemble altogether. And add some pearl lacing down the middle, down the front, and just make it simple and dashing and elegant.
I thought I would do a yellow dress, which is Alexander McQueen, and my fascinator, was made by our very own fascinator designer here in the Bahamas. His name is Nashawn Roll, and it's just a bright, happy colors.
My decision was based on peer support staff with the protocol team, which is they wear black. So I wanted to pop my black with coral, which is my happy color. So that's how I came with the black and coral. The black is standing for protocol, and the coral is just, it's a happy day in the Bahamas.
Actually, blue, royal blue, represents royalty. So I said, well, you know, what other color could I pick than to come to an event like this?
The men were not too far behind. Some wore tailored custom suits, while others complimented their spouses with a matching tie or jacket. For those who weren't too sure, well, here's who they owe their look to.
To be quite honest, it took me a couple of seconds because I just put on what she had arranged for me.
The reason for me selecting this jacket specifically is because there's a lot of work that was put into the preparation of the campaign and also the campaign itself and thus the results. And so I wanted to express how good I feel about the work I've done and the things we've done together and the achievement that we made. And now I feel good about the country. And that's why I wanted to say to the country, thank you very much.
As the speech from the throne was read, there's no doubt that there were several crowning moments. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
This is a national report. We will be back in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this one, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our Superfast Fiber Internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Shanika became the new savings meme. Get a KFC bucket meal with tender, juicy chicken and your choice of delicious large KFC sides, starting at only $20 including VAT. And save like an expert at KFC. Order online with Messenger or on WhatsApp at 557-3663. KFC Nassau. So good.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back. Now to the latest COVID dashboard. 4 deaths recorded on the dashboard, all females from Grand Bahama between the ages of 42 and 88. Hospitalizations stand at 162 with 18 critically ill. Meantime, 60 new infections reported, 48 in New Providence, 6 in Eleuthera, 3 on Grand Bahama, 1 apiece in Exuma, Andros, and Mayaguana. Overall, 21,518 cases have been recorded in the country. And from the crime beat, police investigating the circumstances surrounding a shooting in the St. Albans Drive area last night. In other news, the Court of Appeal has dismissed an application from appellant Omar Archer seeking leave to appeal to the Privy Council in London. Archer was convicted of intentional libel and sentenced to a fine or up to 2 years in prison stemming from a Facebook spat between him and a woman back in 2015 in which he defamed her. That did not sit well with Archer, who appealed on the grounds that his right to freedom of expression had been breached. After hearing from both sides, the court dismissed Archer's application after finding that his proposed appeal does not raise a genuine dispute as to the constitutionality of the law of criminal libel. Stay with us.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate.
Well, I guess you can say that BTC has done it again. We've entered into a partnership with Bahamian Olympic gold medalist Stephen Speedy Gardner in a partnership that will be one for the record books.
We are happy to announce that Speedy Stevie is bleeding blue with us at BTC. And I got to tell you, Corbell, you know, of all the athletes that we sponsor, I think there's something very special about Steve Gardner. And I think not only his story of his humble beginnings, but despite all the stardom, he's still a very humble guy that just wants to give back and do well. So look, I think we have struck gold. He earned gold. We struck gold. I think the fact that that we chose an athlete that was not only the first to do so much at this Olympics, right, but came out of so much adversity, right? I mean, look, the pandemic even impacted the Olympics. So, you know, the story there is so amazing. You know, he was the first, gold medal for the Bahamas, right? All these firsts for me, he said, when I spoke to Carol, I said, look, there's something really special about him, and I think our stories are somehow intertwined, and they are.
It's amazing. Today is just the beginning of a lot of greatness that we have planned and a lot of great ideas and promoting the new BTC brand. It means a lot for me. I remember growing up, there was only BTC at the time, and BTC would do back to school giveaways. They would fund John Canoe, Carifta Games, Olympics, and just to give back, and I'm just happy to be on board.
Whether it's on the tracks or in the community, Stephen Gardner is proving that he has the winning formula all around. These are the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Be well and be back here next BTC Connection.
Let's go back to the crime beats. Police investigating the circumstances surrounding a shooting in the St. Albans Drive area last night. We talked to police press officer ASP Otley Peters at the scene.
preliminary findings are that there was an altercation at a residence where an adult male came to the residence and then was allowed in, and then an argument ensued with him and his mother. As a result, an officer who was in this room at the time heard that argument and came out. When he came out of the room, he noticed a young man brandishing a knife on his mother. As a result, he then called for some assistance. But prior to the assistance arriving, the officer had to use his firearm and shot the victim, who, while traveling to the hospital, succumbed to his injuries.
In other news, positive news from the central bank's monthly economic financial developments, which suggest an uptick in overall tourism output. The August 2021 MEFD suggests the increased activity in the towering sector through continuous strengthening in the high-value added air segment and the modest growth in sea traffic, reflective of widespread vaccination efforts both locally and abroad. Regarding inflation and unemployment, new jobs are projected to arise from continued strengthening of the tourism sector and construction, which is still significantly centered on post-Hurricane Dorian recovery. Oil prices jumped on Tuesday, with U.S. crude hitting its highest since 2014. This trend undoubtedly adding inflationary pressures and is anticipated to remain contained, although some firming is estimated. Meantime, the unemployment rate is projected to remain elevated over the near term. On the monetary front, bank liquidity grew as the more constrained decline in the deposit base deferred from the expansion in domestic credit. Similarly, external reserves increased during the review month, primarily by the receipt of special drawing rights from the International Monetary Fund. A complete analysis of the MFD can be found on the Central Bank of the Bahamas website. Meantime, a private island in the Bahamas to act as the backdrop for one very important day for MSC Cruise Line officials. The Cruise Corp set to christen its newest flagship, the MSC Seashore, during a naming ceremony at Ocean Key, the company's very own private island near the island of Bimini. The November 18th occasion will also coincide with the formal inauguration of the Ocean Key Marine Reserve. The 339-meter ship, which is hailed for its new air sanitization feature, will depart Miami for the Bahamas on November 17th, where their first ever naming ceremony to be held on a private island in the Bahamas will commence the day after. And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us.
This segment of the news is presented by Sands, the truly Bahamian beer.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
proud that RBC is continuing RBC Race for the Kids in its global and virtual format on October 16th and 17th. I will be supporting the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. To lend your support, register for free at rbcraceforthekids.com.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from. The future is what we aspire to, but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are, where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were, and now you get to see who we are. We are alive.
Now to news around the Family Islands. Residents on Inagua taking advantage of the COVID-19 vaccination program now underway on that southern island. This following recent deaths there as a result of the COVID virus. Inagua resident George Harris tells us more.
The entire community of Great Inagua is in mourning after the passing away of 3 local businessmen as a result of this COVID disease. And that has brought a huge part of the community to the Inagua Health Center today to be vaccinated. Residents are taking more precaution as this pandemic continues to exist in the country and is, of course, one of the main reasons for the protocols that are in place. And we believe our residents are utilizing all of the tools available to them in this regard.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean.
In our first look at weather outside of our studios, we are under mostly sunny skies with a temperature of 88 degrees, the relative humidity at 62%. We have east-southeast winds at 14 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,017.0 millibars, that's 30.06 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 88 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Turtle Key, Marshall, Barbacoa at 86. 86 also in the Berry Islands, Town, Bimini, 85, 86 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Otter Sound, Cat Island, and Black Point, Exuma, all at 87. 87 is also in Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. More 87s in San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 86 degrees. 87s again in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and Matthew Town, Inagua, Turks and Caicos Islands, 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of F5P, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern Bahamas tonight through Friday, which is tomorrow, east to southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots to wave heights. They will be coming down 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide, 9:17 tonight. You can expect another high tide at 9:45 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands, also into Friday, easterly flow at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. We are holding a caution flag in place through Friday for the central and southeastern Bahamas. And then on Saturday in the northwest and central islands, we're going to get some light and variable winds with flat seas. High tide 10:34 in the morning on Saturday. Low tide takes place at 5:01 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. It's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Sailor man sound, Crawley
Need it feeling out. Hear the sailor man sound. You wanna go to heaven, but
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Roll Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
How the smartest shoppers are shopping in Nassau. Variety disposable products versus the other guys. $120.40 versus $150. Variety disposable products, 25% savings. Bingo, save $3. Padilla, save $2. Bounty hand towel, $1. And that's how the smartest shoppers saved over $30 on this cart at Variety Disposable.
Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays. That's super value and quality supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.49. Par Excellence long grain rice, 5 pound, $3.49. Del Monte cut green beans, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Boneless chicken breast, $2.89 per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.79 per pound. Take these groceries home in super value tote bags, 2 for $3.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment. Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay. Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
And now for our final look at weather, let's check in once again with Basil Dean.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics remain quiet again this evening with no activities out there. And on the home front, that area of high pressure that's been dominating our weather over the past week or so with some brisk winds, well, that's going to start collapsing tomorrow. So we will see a reduction in our winds. And with those reduction and the light winds and warm temperatures, well, that's going to also increase the chance of showers as we head into the weekend. Our forecast for tonight calling for increasing clouds to low temperature around 76 degrees. And tomorrow, you're going to see some variable cloudiness, high temperature around 88 degrees. The extended weather forecast over the next 7 days. We'll see those showers working their way back into our forecast on Saturday with some possible thunderstorms as well. And that will carry right over into Sunday. We get a little breather on Monday, but those showers and thunderstorms will once again return on Tuesday of next week. Temperature-wise, we're going to keep you in the mid to upper 80s during the daytime and the mid 70s during the nighttime.
That does it for the Bahamas tonight, live from Freeport, Grants, Bahama. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. I'm Jamila Mizik. Good night.
Hello, I am Roselle Moxie, President of Sunshine Finance. Let's talk about financial resilience. Financial resiliency is the ability to suffer an external shock and still be able to meet your core financial obligations. If these were normal times, I would talk to you about things such as maximizing your income, making your side hustle your superpower. I would stress the importance of home ownership as an important intergenerational wealth building tool. I would remind you that we're all living longer, and so we have to think of retirement. I would invite you to automate your savings. and put your savings in an account that you don't have an ATM card for. But these are not normal times. These are post-Dorian, living during COVID times. And so my discussion today with you is about how we make the money we do have to spend work the best for us. 2 words: debt consolidation. Most of us know what a debt consolidation is. When we take a multiple of loans and we reduce them to as few loans as is possible. Curiously though, in my experience, I very rarely see people include their credit cards in their debt consolidations. Credit cards are 2-edged swords. You have to be careful because it's very easy to swipe and feel like it's not real. But they are beneficial because they provide us with an immediate access to cash when we need it. But if you are carrying a balance on your credit card that you do not anticipate paying in the next 30 days, and certainly if your credit card is maxed out, you are losing big time. Why do I say that? Credit cards are the most expensive form of personal debt. Additionally, if your credit card is maxed out, you don't have the headroom on your credit card to allow you that immediate access to cash when you need it. So why pay so much for that? What can you do about it? I invite you to attend at a reputable financial institution and convert your credit card debt into a regular term loan. I think I've said enough to help you understand what you're going to accomplish by doing that. You'll have a lower interest rate and you'll recreate the headroom on the credit card to give you that immediate access to cash again. Now, once you have consolidated your debts, including your credit cards, to me, the story is really just beginning. The magic of a consolidation is now, what do you do with the difference in monthly payments that you have created? You have 4 options. You can use the funds to pay other bills. You can use the funds and put it on your new combined loan, thereby prepaying the loan and saving yourself interest. You can put it in a savings. Or if you need the funds at the time of the consolidation, you can get additional cash. The only thing I would say is wrong to do with the difference in monthly payment you create by consolidating is not to know what you did with the money. I end with this. These are not normal times. Unprecedented was the word for 2020. That and you are mute. So I say to you, give yourself grace. Whatever you choose to do, whichever financial tip you choose to prescribe to, give yourself grace and allow yourself the peace of knowing you are doing the best you can. Best wishes for your financial resiliency.
This message is brought to you by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
In China's Guangdong province, recycling electronic waste, or e-waste, is a multi-million-dollar business. Some 80% of the people who live in the city of Guiyu earn a living by ripping apart old electronics, especially mobile phones and computers, and salvaging valuable components to sell on the lucrative e-waste black market. But the communication revolution brought about by these high-tech products also has a darker side.
You know, we should really be mindful of nowadays, people get rid of their old phones all the time.
Kaiser Kuo is a director with Baidu, China's largest internet search engine company.
Sometimes they end up in cities in coastal China where dismantled in very, very unhealthy and unsafe ways that expose not only the people doing the disassembly to toxins, to dangerous chemicals, but also pollute the air and the groundwater.
Exposure to carcinogens, toxic fumes, and contaminated soil can be deadly, experts say. But e-waste isn't only a problem in China. West Africa has become a dumping ground for obsolete electronics from other parts of the world. According to a United Nations report, China and the United States produce 1/3 of the planet's e-waste. To address this dilemma, Baidu has come up with an innovation that could help reduce the improper disposal of electronic waste in China. It's a web-based app called Recycling Station, developed in partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. But how exactly does it work?
We type in the @ sign. Then it gives me a choice of different electronic products that I might want to recycle. Let's say I decide to recycle this refrigerator here, this old refrigerator. All I need to do is pick the size of the refrigerator, the date that I'd like it to be picked up, and then to take a photo of it. And now I select simply the place where I am and one of the companies that will come and pick it up.
Agi Verez is country director at UNDP in Beijing.
This is very new, but we already see the success in this. Within 2 months, about 11,000 devices got recycled.
The app was tested at TCL in Tianjin City, one of the largest manufacturers of electronics, as well as a leading recycling company in the north of China. Demi Wong is assistant manager at TCL, and she says her company plans to recycle 100,000 tons of e-waste each year.
我们双方有共同的目标，就是建立绿色的废旧家电回收体系，就是我们有比较完善的环保设施，能够确保这些废电器在处理过程中不对环境造成污染。
Aware of the dangers of toxic materials present in old appliances and electronics, workers use a special machine to process cathode ray tubes, or CRTs, from archaic television units.
把报废的这些废电器我们回收回来，然后进行环保处理。
It's all part of a scheme supported by the government of China to cut the amount of e-waste generated in the country. Unless immediate action is taken, by 2017, China will overtake the United States as the world's largest e-waste producer. China's rapid economic growth has led to high levels of consumption. More and more people can now afford flat-screen television sets, computers, and multiple mobile phones, often trading in the older models for the newer ones. Kaiser believes that targeting the younger generation through its app to think responsibly is part of the solution.
The app is a fine piece of technology and everything, but I think more important than that is the mentality, commitment behind it.
It is hoped that this high-tech initiative could help China to reduce its e-waste output considerably. At the same time, it could ease the health-related impact on people who recycle e-waste illegally, protect water systems and the environment. This report was produced by Mary Ferreira for the United Nations.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bonami.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rajesh Pahawa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jazreel Thompson.
Infectious diseases physician.
I'm radiologist at Doctors Hospital.
An anesthesiologist here at Doctors Hospital.
And I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
In Gujarat State, western India, the sun shines practically all year long. SS Rator is the chairman and managing director at Sardar Sarovar Narmada Nigam Limited in Gujarat. So why not harness the sun's rays to generate power to boost the state's electrical output and at the same time reduce its dependency on fossil fuels, which contribute to global warming? It's an idea that Secretary General Ban Ki-moon endorses through the Sustainable Development Goals recently launched at the United Nations. Ban Ki-moon has called on all nations to limit the rise in the Earth's temperature to below 2 degrees Celsius by exploring the use of alternative, efficient, and clean sources of energy. And India is attempting to answer that call by creating the world's first 10-megawatt canal-top solar project that stretches for some 3.6 kilometers over a canal that passes through the city of Vadodara. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon attended the inauguration in January 2015 and encouraged India to further increase its use of solar energy in the future. Director of Canals KV Sangui knows the benefits of solar energy, but it takes creativity to build a solar park without using up valuable land.
The advantage over here is that we don't have to acquire the land. So we are using the canal top width, which otherwise, has got no other use. We are putting it to the use for the generation, and indirectly, it's saving the water, that reduces, evaporation.
The project is using some 35,000 solar panels to generate 10 megawatts of energy. Most of the energy is used to power the solar park, which initially depended on the national power grid for its energy supply. Now that saved portion of energy is being redistributed cheaply to the local community, and people can rely on the availability of electricity, which was somewhat unreliable in the past. Part, who works on maintaining the solar panels every week, has seen an improvement in electricity in his home since the project had been implemented.
हमारा लाइट कंटिन्यू रहता है क्योंकि ये जीबी वाट को लाइट मिलता है। तो पहले उन लोग को लाइट का प्रॉब्लम रहता था, इसके लिए लाइट वो लोग काट देते, अभी काटते नहीं है लाइट और इसकी वजह से सबके घर में उजाला रहता है।
As a consequence of the project, Part and other young men who were unemployed before can now make 7,000 rupees per month cleaning solar panels.
तो उसमें कि अपने जो यहाँ पे रेडिएशन होता है सोलर पैनल में, जो वॉशिंग नहीं करेंगे तो वो रेडिएशन नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि उसके ऊपर जो हवा होता है प्रदूषण की वजह से मिट्टी की परत लग जाती है। और परत हटाने के लिए हमको वॉशिंग करना जरूरी है, और वो वॉशिंग हमको कंटिन्यू करना पड़ता है क्योंकि उसके ऊपर मिट्टी हटानी जरूरी है, क्योंकि वो मिट्टी नहीं हटेगी तो रेडिएशन हमको मिलेगा नहीं।
Because of the success of the Canal Top project in Vadodara, the government is encouraging other states to introduce similar systems in their communities. The Vadodara Canal Top Solar Project proves that creativity, political will, and support from the community can help to reduce greenhouse gases and limit the impact of climate change worldwide. This report was produced by Mary Ferreira for the United Nations.
At the Dixon Hill Lighthouse in San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In a replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
A concert with a message of peace and tolerance. On 31st October 2015, one of the world's most renowned orchestra directors, Daniel Barenboim, performed with his West Eastern Divan Orchestra at the Palais des Nations, Geneva, in the Human Rights Chamber. Ban Ki-moon, the United Nations Secretary General, delivered the opening remarks.
With armed conflict spreading across the Middle East, particularly in Syria and Yemen, and with yet another round of Israeli-Palestinian hostilities, it is heartening to see young Israeli and Arab musicians replacing the noise of violence with sounds of harmony.
In 1999, Daniel Barenboim co-founded the West Eastern Divan Orchestra with the late Palestinian literary scholar Edward Said. Composed of young musicians from Israel, Palestine, and other Middle Eastern countries, the orchestra aims to promote understanding between Israelis and Palestinians and to pave the way for a peaceful solution of the Arab-Israeli conflict.
When they spend all day long trying to make music together, playing together in the same note, in the same volume, with the same volume, with the same quality of sound, eventually the differences, at least mentally, get softer. And but I think for non-musicians, what the Divan can and should do is become an example of the acceptance of the other, provided he accepts you too.
Since 1967, Daniel Barenboim, whose background is Argentinian, Israeli, Spanish, and Palestinian, has been leading some of the most prestigious orchestras in the world. For many years, he's been committed to reconciling the warring communities in the Middle East conflict. In 2007, the conductor was named a UN Messenger of Peace.
I see that as a sort of expression of confidence in what I do, and I'm very flattered.